Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of New York, Season 13, Episode 11. So this episode picks up almost exactly where it left off. All the ladies have decided to turn in for the night and leave Ramona with Bershan. Since Ramona is the person who introduced Bershan to the group, they figured that she's Ramona's responsibility. They weren't going to deal with her and she can just, hang with Ramona.
Telling you, as a woman who I know is a warrior who supports women,
I support women, but it's like, oh my God, we gotta accept her.
Dawn is an intelligent woman, and she does have a point. As an outsider looking in, she says, "Why are you handling with her kid gloves? This is not helping her." I agree, but you know what? She's our friend for a long time. Let us figure it out. It's not your job to do it.
Now, I have to agree with Ramona. I also agree with Ebony when she says that Bershan is acting like a crazy person and she can just explain herself to Ramona. She didn't want to hear it. What I thought was, everyone knows that Sonia is going through something. Everyone knows that Sonia drinks too much, or maybe she's on some medication that she needs to take and it doesn't mix well with alcohol. I have no idea. I still don't buy that water pill story, but Bershan doesn't know Sonia well enough to try to call her out at all. You are new to the group, behave yourself. You know what I mean? I just thought that was childish behavior. I don't understand the whole shaking and waving your arms all over the place. It's not necessary. It's embarrassing. And Bershan is a grown woman. Sonia acts out, but she's drunk, and I don't know if Bershan is really drunk or not. I remember last episode, Leah told her she doesn't buy that she's drunk because she only had some wine. I have no idea. Maybe she is a person who has a very low tolerance for alcohol. I have no idea. I would like to be able to blame Bershan's behavior on being drunk, but I don't think we can. So Leah informs Luann that Bershan and Sonia got physical later on that evening. I guess Sonia was in her room and Bershan came down to get aspirin or something like that, and it became physical between the two of them.
Don't you come into my life in 10 seconds
Sonia.
and tell me who I am, Bershan!
Sonia, get your head.
Get your hand on my
Get your
face!
hand.
Hey, T-Bag!
Please,
Leah,
I have my nose job.
Leah.
Please be careful.
Don't you tell
You're taking
me!
it too far. Seriously,
Stop.
you're taking it. Come on.
Don't
You're
you
taking
tell
it.
me!
Come here. She's taking this
Oh
too
my
far.
God.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. To me, this was really difficult to watch, only because I really care about Sonia a lot. And I've never seen Sonia get so out of control that she's breaking things, Unless it's just slipping my mind. I don't know, but to me, it's just way too much. Both of these women are acting ridiculous, childish, drunk, petty behavior. And I think that the production team should have intervened a long time before it got to that place. But of course, they're filming a reality show. So Luann has decided that this is all Ramona's fault. She feels that since Ramona brought her to the group and Ramona told her that they were such good time girls, that she set her expectations too high for the group. And, it's Ramona's fault that Bershan acted that way. I say no, absolutely not. It is not Ramona's fault. This is all Bershan's fault. Bershan is the one who drank too much. Bershan is the one who decided to act ridiculous. Bershan is the one who could have been a responsible adult and just shut up. When she made the comment calling them grandmas, she could have taken the time to explain to the ladies right then that she was only joking. She didn't mean anything by it. It was just expression. But instead of doing that, she just kept doubling down on it and taking her anger out on Sonia. This is Bershan's problem. So Leah, Ramona, and Luann decide that maybe it's the good time for them to finally broach the situation with Sonia about her behavior, about her drinking. She is definitely overdoing it, and it is causing a major problem. And Luann made a valid point. She said she may not even remember what happened when she wakes up. Luann says that, she's been there before. And personally, I kind of agreed with Luann. I said, is she going to remember? She was completely wasted. I do think with Luann going through her bouts of sobriety and Leah being sober right now, it's a good idea for those two to have a conversation with Sonia. Inviting Ramona is also a good idea because Sonia loves Ramona and Ramona loves Sonia. So it's always nice to have people there who truly love you and know you when they're trying to do some sort of intervention.
That escalated it is she got in my face like this.
Right.
And I gotta tell you, I would never get in someone's face like that. In Black culture, if you get in somebody's face like that, you get hit.
Now, I do understand what Brashawn is saying. In some neighborhoods, in certain groups of people, if you get up in their face, you're gonna get popped, But this wasn't the time or the place for that. And it proved a point. Brashawn, if you really knew Sonia, you would know that Sonia was not gonna hurt you. She wasn't gonna attack you. That also should let you know that you have no business jumping down this woman's throat about her drinking and her behavior when you don't know her. That was your first time engaging with Sonia. If you had issues with Sonia's behavior or anything, why didn't you just talk that out with Ramona? You could have sat down with Ramona and said, hey, I'm kind of worried about your friend Sonia. Does she act like this all the time? Is it drinking or is she on medication? What's happening? I mean, not that it's really any of your business because it's not. This is one of those times where you could have just ate your food and went on about your business, or you could have moved your seat and sat down there next to Ebony. This is just crazy. As a responsible adult, there's no way that I am going to be in a public place screaming and hollering, jumping up and down, waving my hands around, calling people old. I mean, it's just too much. I think that Brashawn was really doing everything she could to try to get the apple. I did hear that allegedly she was offered the apple before for Ebony, but she was holding out and Ebony grabbed the apple before she could. Well, that's not anybody's fault but your own, if that's the truth. Ooh, Brashawn, I don't know what's wrong with you, girl, but that was horrible behavior. And I'm not saying that Sonia gets a pass because her behavior was ridiculous as well. We're just all used to her acting crazy. So Ramona goes to check on Sonia, and Sonia looks as if she hadn't slept in days. That woman looks really, really tired and hungover, and she tries to blame it on cheap wine and Brashawn. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We are not going to blame it on the cheap wine because if the wine was so cheap and you didn't like it, why did you suck it down? As a matter of fact, you sucked down a glass of wine through your mask. And we can't put it all on Brashawn. If you hadn't have been drunken all over the place, you would have been able to handle your business without screaming and hollering and getting in this woman's face and breaking a glass out in the hallway. I'm just saying, you have to take responsibility for yourself as well, Sonia. This is all nice and cute when you're in your 20s, but when you're in your mid-50s, not cute. No, ma'am. So the ladies all decide to go to lunch. However, the restaurant they're going to is 45 minutes away by bus. So I said, oh, wow, this is about to be an interesting bus trip, considering that Ramona and Sonia met up with Brashawn at the elevator and they refused to speak. I said, this is about to be a bad bus trip. However, when they got on the bus, the ladies decided that they just were not in the mood for it. It was not about to be 45 minutes of yelling and screaming on this bus. They decided to take a very silent 45-minute bus trip. And I
want to apologize. Oh, I made this familiar when it wasn't familiar.
Oh, don't cry, honey.
No,
Don't cry.
You acted familiar with women you weren't quite yet
I
familiar
acted familiar with people that I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
I didn't have boundaries. I talked like I've known you guys for 30 years.
When you spoke the way you did and you spoke to Sonia in a certain way, she's my girl. So you can't talk to my friends like that and not expect to have repercussions.
That I'm sorry to you, Ebony, Luann, Ramona, Leah, and especially you, Sonia. And with you, Sonia, I may not remember everything. I'm just being honest.
Do either of you remember?
I
remember.
Okay, so she remembers. But on the bus, I mean, like, I had a real connection with you.
Because we did have a connection on the bus. You listened to me, you
Yeah.
heard me, and then even at the Pioneer Village, we spent time alone, hearing each other and discussing like civil.
She needs some Kleenex.
Shut the up, Ramona.
paper
Did I
napkins.
speak this whole time?
Now, listen, I absolutely appreciate Brashawn's apology. I think that she was very well aware that she owed those ladies an apology. I also appreciate that Luann was able to get out how she felt, and Sonia was also able to express herself and not cause for another huge blow up. However, I do not appreciate how she snapped on Ramona. All Ramona was trying to do was get a little Kleenex for the crying women at the table. Sonia hasn't even had a drink at this point. Ma'am, calm down. I'm also glad that Brashawn did not interrupt Sonia while she was talking. She was able to sit there quietly and listen to what Sonia had to say. And she was able to accept and acknowledge her part in this incident. And I was happy to also see that they were able to hug it out. And that's one thing that you have to say about Sonia. Sometimes people will mistreat her, and she will always accept someone's apology and hug it out with them. That is something that's really, really good about Sonia. So after lunch, they go back to the hotel. They all get dressed up. They're going out to dinner. And at the same place where they're having dinner, they also perform seance. And honey, let me just tell you now, ma'am, I'm back at the hotel calling for room service, talking to Pastor Anderson, and taking a nap. No, I'm good. I can't do that. I do not participate in seance. No. So as soon as they get to the restaurant for the seance, Sonia and Brashawn order martinis. I said, oh no, not the martinis, not the drink. Honey, please get you some water with lemon. Luann says, oh gosh, this is all we need. She said they're gonna be zoom and then boom. Nope. So Luann instantly grabs Leah and says, we need to have this conversation with her now before she starts drinking, because once she's drinking and drunk, we are not going to get through to her. So Leah tells Ramona to tell Ebony to talk to Brashawn while they talk to Sonia. Ramona slides in behind Sonia and steals her espresso martini, which, by the way, that drink looked good. I'd like to have one of them. Anyway, Sonia is nobody's fool.
Yes. Look, she has the. Let's get cheers.
Oh,
She did. She took my drink.
oh, there she go. That's how she's gonna bait you.
Oh, she baiting
She's got her
sister.
own agenda. You took my drink, bitch. You think I'm stupid? All right.
This woman is a mess. She is a full-on mess, girl, if you don't stop. Well, the intervention doesn't go as well as everyone hoped. Sonia was doing everything she could to avoid, and she was making a lot of excuses the way honest, true alcoholics make excuses. I don't drink a lot. I don't drink at home. I don't drink alone. Girl, you lying. She said, I don't even keep alcohol in the house. Well, when guests come over, I have alcohol over there that I can give them something to drink, but I don't really drink. Ma'am, you a lie. Stop that. I think that Sonia is truly going through something. This woman is going through a lot of different things in her life. I think it's her career, it's her love life, it's her financial life, it is her past life that she still hasn't been able to get over. She can't get over not being on the yacht, listening to yacht rock, not being on all the private jets, not being the true Mrs. Morgan. You know, she has not faced, as some other lady is wearing that title now. That man left you over 13 years ago. It's over. Anyway, after the not so successful intervention, they sit down with this medium named Mary Ann, and she is going to guide the seance with this other medium. And I don't even remember his name because he wasn't good. No, nobody knew any of the people that he was talking about. I said, buddy, don't do this no more, because this isn't for you. Now listen, that whole big kaboom and everything, I think that was set up by Bravo or the people that own the restaurant. I don't buy any of that. When that whole noise and bump and bang happened, did anybody hear Sonya say there might be poop? I said, oh my gosh, Ramona knows exactly what she's talking about. Don't get over here pooping, ma'am, because you're scared. So Marianne tells Leah that her grandmother is there, sort of. She says that her grandmother doesn't really play that. She really isn't into the seance kind of thing. So she doesn't really want to fully come in, but she just lets her know that her grandmother is there. And I was freaked out. I said, now wait a minute. Either this woman really knows what she's talking about, which is kind of scary, or the production team has filled Marianne in on everybody's business. One thing that was nice though, Leah was very comforted in knowing that her grandmother is okay and that she was kind of there. Marianne knew that Leah was trying to convert to Judaism, and I said, oh wow, okay lady, Bravo, stop messing with Marianne, stop telling her everybody's business.
I feel like I have a woman standing behind you. And this is an older woman. I think she's your grandmother, actually. And she's only been gone a little bit of time. And it's a strong message, and you've got to keep going forward.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry I made you cry. You're going to make me cry too.
This is so affirming.
Now this absolutely made me cry. This woman, I think, was telling the truth. Either that or Bravo was messing with us. And Ebony was at peace. And I said, you know what, even if this lady is lying, at least that brought her some peace. I was really happy that she got the opportunity to talk to her. Then I was really surprised that Sonya's dad jumped into the seance. We found out that Sonya's dad was an alcoholic. We already knew that Luann's dad was an alcoholic and Ramona's dad was an alcoholic, but it turns out that Luann and Ramona didn't know that Sonya's daddy was an alcoholic. It turns out that her dad just up and left them, and she has suffered a bad, childhood experience with her father. He jumped into the seance to let her know that he is sorry. He is sorry for everything that he did wrong.
A healer recently, and it's starting to come
Not a healer. A healer is great as an addition. I hope this psychologist has got a PhD, because you need somebody who's got a little bit more.
I've been saying that too. Sonya doesn't listen to my videos. Sonya, you should really become a peep, okay? We love you around here. I'm just saying, you need something more substantial than that woman that comes over there shaking all those crystals and waving that thing around and hitting the big bong. You need more than that. You need more than that. You need a psychiatrist, and preferably one who can, write prescriptions. I'm just saying. Then if it wasn't enough, Ramona's brother jumps in. I said, well, what? What brother? Listen, Ramona's brother jumps in. I guess he passed away 2 years ago, but he was kind of lost. He was a lost person. And the medium says, did he pass away 2 weeks ago? Because he seems to be a little lost. And Ramona said, no, 2 years ago, he was lost in the real life. And she says, well, he's lost in the afterlife too. And Ramona was crying. It was real tears this time. Ramona feels as if she abandoned her brother because he just couldn't get his life straight. She just up and left and just, let him fend for himself because he was always having near-death experiences, living his life on the edge, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She wasn't able to save him, and that's what devastated her. Marianne tells her that her brother says that he is sorry, that she is not responsible, that he loves her, and that was rough. I was in tears, and Marianne tells her she needs to release that guilt. There was nothing that she could do. He wanted to die, and Ramona said that she knew that he did. Honey, listen, after the seance, they figured out that Leah's dress was on backwards the entire time, and it seems the only person who realized it was Ebony. It was quite funny. She said, "You do realize your dress is all backwards, right?" I thought that was so cute, and I was so excited that Brashawn didn't act up, but we still have more episodes, so you never know. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.